All right, so hopefully you're having fun so far. This is the next section of the course. We're going to get into actual riffs. We talked a lot about grooves, chord shapes, 1, 4, 5, practicing. And you can see that you can go pretty deep just on basics like 1, 4, 5 dominant chords. We didn't even get into scales or mixolydian. We talked about some of that stuff in Volume 2 of Art of the Blues Riff. So let's talk about actual riffs. One of the most common things you can do is just a format I call chord plus lick. So you're playing the chord and then you're playing single notes. Okay, so now sometimes you can improvise these and you can also write them out. But I recommend really starting with the one chord, okay? So we can play licks, and then just go to our normal 4 chord, just like we were practicing before, like varying the chord shapes. We can do the same thing with riffs, and we can practice improvising riffs. We could also write them out as well. When you're writing, you may have a little bit more kind of bandwidth to do something more on the 4 chord. I think that if you try to do too much, like improvising on the 1, then improvising on the 4, it's easy to just lose your place. And if you lose your place too much, it costs a lot of energy. So we can play, improvise on the 1. But then let's say I'm writing, if I come up with something like this, maybe on the 4 chord, I'll come up with something similar. Let's see. Whatever. But the idea is to really just start on the 1 as a starting point. You can always take the same shape as well, by the way. And so like if I have this shape in G, I can go up to C. So similar lick. Alright. But most of these ideas I'm going to be kind of explaining things from a 1 chord standpoint. And then it'll be up to you a little bit how to apply that to the 12-bar blues. Alright, so one very simple idea is to take the melody note of the chord as a starting point for your lick. So we have this shape has the 5th on top. This is the D note. We're still in the key of G. And I can start my lick there. So notice I start there. It's a very logical place to start because the voice leading is perfect. It's just, you're already there. One thing is you might have to switch fingerings. So notice here, if I wanted to play this, I can't play this starting on my 3rd finger, at least very easily. So I'm going to want to switch. Let's take the next shape. Let's just go through all of them because this is a really good concept, just the chord plus lick idea, starting on the same note. So here again, it's the same note, but this is the triad, so we have a different sound, more of a major sound. Okay. Notice there, very common thing to hit the minor 3rd and major 3rd. Another thing is, think about the degrees, it's like, for example, the root. The root is like, it feels like home. It's always a place to go back to. Or even just, down the pentatonic scale. The fifth also kind of sounds like a stable place to be.